This was the last round, the final Grand Prix where riders would put it all on the line for World Championship glory. The UIM ABP Aquabike World Championship was back in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates for the final round of the 2017 season, where the World Championship would be decided. With 3 motos to race and a total of 75 points up for grabs, the stage was set for a thrilling climax to the year as 60 riders from 25 countries competed at the Grand Prix of Sharjah in 4 categories: Ski Men's and Ladies GP1, Freestyle, and Runabout GP1. In this program, we bring you the Runabout GP1 and the Freestyle. Sharjah stands out from its more glitzy and glamorous neighboring Emirates. This is the soul of the UAE, a unique sheikhdom with a proud Arab Islamic heritage that is reflected in the many different architectural gems that the city has to offer, spanning various cultures and geographies. The population is mellow, contented, and cosmopolitan, and although it is removed from the hustle and bustle of the rest of the UAE, Sharjah is also a modern and upwardly mobile city with a character that sets it apart. Sharjah boasts long stretches of gorgeous sandy beaches and a pristine and beautiful desert just a drive away. It has also been an important regional trading port, and the locals have a deep affinity for water and the sea, which have a unique place in Sharjah's history and everyday life. This Middle Eastern hub once again provides the perfect setting for the final UIM ABP event of the year as the world's top riders gather along Sharjah's dazzling tower-lined corniche surrounding the Khalid Lagoon for the Grand Prix of Sharjah. Now let's take a look back at what happened in the previous round. Round 3 at the Grand Prix of Dubai, Moto 1 saw high drama on lap 8 as the defending 3-time world champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak of Kuwait dropped out, handing the Moto 1 win to his arch-rival James Bushell, with Lars Åkerblom finishing 3rd. But the Kuwaiti world champ struck back in Moto 2 after starting at the back of the field, the race lead changing hands 4 times before the Kuwaiti came home for a memorable win ahead of Jeremy Perez 2nd and Bushell 3rd. In the 3rd and final moto, Al Abdulrazak was in pole position in tough water conditions, and he was just too good, closing the Grand Prix out with a start-to-finish win. Perez again runner-up, Bushell disqualified with a black flag. That win gave Al Abdulrazak the Grand Prix title ahead of Lars Åkerblom, with James Bushell on the podium in 3rd, and Al Abdulrazak stood atop the world point standings, 23 points clear of Lars Åkerblom. In the freestyle, the absence of Rok Florjancic to injury meant the field was wide open for other contenders, not least of which was Rok's brother, Nas. But it was Emirati local sensation Rashid Al Mullah who stole the show, winning all 3 heats and the Grand Prix title. But Nas was still able to pull off enough points to assume the lead in the World Championship going into the last round in Sharjah. The Grand Prix of Sharjah circuit on Khalid Lagoon is a tight, short, and technical course where the alternate parallel tracks will play a crucial role.
Flat, but it also can be a little bit dangerous because the waves comes back from the dock out again, so you get cross waves, so you have to be ready for this.
Nice and open in sections and tight in others. It's very different to all the other racetracks we've had, and it's good, a nice flat race. It'll get choppy with the backwash off the concrete walls here, but it'll be a nice change of conditions because every event so far has been pretty rough. So looking forward to it.
In In Runabout GP1, the fight for the title would be between the world's established top three, with the defending champion from Kuwait, Yusuf Al Abdulrazak, in prime position going into this last round after winning the previous round in Dubai, as he sits atop the championship standings on 120 points, 23 clear of his nearest rival, Lars Åkerblom.
It's not important to win the Sharjah round, it's important to win the championship, and hopefully it goes smooth with us. James and Lars, actually, Lars is closer to me now, so I'm worried more about Lars. He's very reliable this whole season, and he's been doing really good. So my eyes open on both of them.
Swedish ace Lars Åkerblom has been a tower of consistency with 5 top 3 finishes and 2 podiums this year, and he knows if he can play his cards right, he might get his first world title here in 2017. In third place in the world standings is last year's world runner-up James Bushell of the UK. The British rider is just 6 points behind Åkerblom and 29 points behind Al Abdulrazak, so he knows if he can find the technical reliability he needs and finish races out there, he has a shot at the world title.
This race is better for me. In Dubai, it's the big waves, so my jet ski is pretty good in the this kind of condition. So hopefully, if everyone stays together and we hopefully go good. We'll wait and see what happens. Obviously, I got black flagged in Dubai, so I lost some points. So you never know. Maybe Yusuf might get black flag here, so I can gain some points back on him.
If any of the top 3 riders slip up, Frenchman Jeremy Perez could well be a factor after hitting form in the last Grand Prix in Dubai, where he finished second in 2 motos. It's a talent-packed field full of championship potential with the likes of Polish ace Andrzej Wisniewski, Frenchman Patrice Pellier, the very talented Emirati rider Rashid Al-Tayer, and the towering Swede Johan Johansson. The stage is set for a cracking year-end runabout showdown. The riders went out on the water to salute the crowds ahead of Moto 1, James Bushell on pole position after setting the fastest time in qualifying the day before. Riders wait for the flag on the rolling start, and there they go. Moto 1 of the Grand Prix of Sharjah begins. James Bushell leads the field of over 20 riders down that starting straightaway to the hole shots, with Yusuf Al Abdulrazak right beside him, the 2 world title contenders in a drag race at the start as they lead the field into the circuit. The 2 riders enter the split course, James Bushell in the blue track, and next to him is Yusuf Al Abdulrazak in the green, trying to keep up with the British rider. But Bushell is way too fast as he exits the parallel course with lead intact. But Al Abdulrazak is right behind him in a thrilling cat-and-mouse start to the first moto of the Sharjah Grand Prix. Bushell closes out the starting lap in the lead of the 25 minutes plus 1 lap race. Behind him, Yusuf Al Abdulrazak, and in third place behind the Kuwaiti is Jeremy Perez with Andrzej Wisniewski 4th. Further back in the field, former world champion Mattia Fracasso has managed to overhaul Patrice Pellier to move up into 8th position ahead of the Frenchman. Trouble for local rider Rashid Al-Tayer. The Emirati is out of Moto 1 before he can complete a lap. Yusuf Al Abdulrazak maintains his 2nd position as he gives chase to Bushell, but he has a problem in lap 3. It seems like an ignition issue. Luckily, he resolves it quickly, just as Jeremy Perez catches up with the Kuwaiti. The 2 go neck and neck in a fight for 2nd position. Perez trying to find a way past on the inside, but Al Abdulrazak hangs in there and holds points. Al Abdulrazak quickens his pace as he gradually erodes Bushell's lead, and by lap 5, the Kuwaiti finally finds the opportunity he was waiting for. Al Abdulrazak and Bushell in a side-by-side duel at the top, but Al Abdulrazak is just too fast. He does it! The Kuwaiti defending world champion powers past Bushell to take 1st position as they enter the alternate course. Al Abdulrazak is in the blue track, Bushell in the green, but just look at that pace from Al Abdulrazak. He's already opened a hefty lead despite having just passed Bushell. Behind the top 3, Lars Åkerblom is also moving up the ranks as he takes on Polish rider Andrzej Wisniewski. Åkerblom powering through those choppy waters as he passes the pole to move into 4th position behind Jeremy Perez in 3rd. As the minutes wind down, it looks like a 5th moto win of the year for Yusuf Al Abdulrazak. The Kuwaiti had the perfect start to his bid for a fourth world title here, closing the race out with a win ahead of Bushel, who finishes runner-up, Perez coming in third, and Ackerblom, who manages fourth. What a win from the Kuwaiti, biding his time, waiting for the right moment, and then taking the opportunity that presented itself in lap 5, where he passed Bushel and closed the race out with a win. That win extends his lead to 35 points in the world point standings over Bushel and Ackerblom. Andrei Wisniewski ends the race 5th, followed by Johan Johansson in 6th. Moto 2 later that day, Moto 1 winner Yusuf Al Abdulrazak was in pole position for the rolling start on Khalid Lagoon. And there they go, over 20 riders thundering down that starting straightaway to the green hole shot. Yusuf Al Abdulrazak is very fast, and he's first to the turn on that inside pole position lane, given chase by the rest of the field. Al Abdulrazak goes into the parallel course, opting for the green track. Behind him is Lars Ackerblom and then James Bushel, the Kuwaiti coming out of the split course in the lead, chased by his two world title rivals, Ackerblom and Bushel. Behind the top three, in fourth position is Jeremy Perez, then Polish champion Andrei Wisniewski in fifth, followed by Swedish rider Johan Johansson. The top four of Moto 2 so far are the four world title contenders, all of whom still have a shot at the world title in 2017, Al Abdulrazak, Ackerblom, Bushel and Perez. In sixth position, Johan Johansson is going strong, but he breaks down all of a sudden. The Swede's race is over as he raises his hand and heads back to land. The battle heats up for second position as Lars Ackerblom and James Bushel lock horns, dipping and ducking inside and out through those turns, but Ackerblom always just managing to hold on the inside line and stave off the Bushel attack. Behind them, Jeremy Perez, who's come so close but never been able to win that elusive first UIM ABP World title. Now back to the action between Bushel and Ackerblom as they enter the split course. Ackerblom going for the green and Bushel for the blue. This is going to be tight. But it's tough luck for Bushel, who gets caught behind a back marker, and Ackerblom is able to hold on to second position while also extending his lead over Bushel, who has some catching up to do now. With Bushel unable to wrest second place from Ackerblom, it's increasingly looking like the World Championship is about to be decided as Al Abdulrazak looks easy, comfortable and focused in the lead as the laps and the minutes tick away. And there it is, Yusuf Al Abdulrazak is the Moto 2 and 2017 World Champion. Lars Ackerblom, runner-up, James Bushel, third. A fourth World Championship title for Yusuf Al Abdulrazak in 2017, well-deserved win for the Kuwaiti. Bushel finishes third behind Ackerblom, but the two will still fight it out for a runner-up year-end place on the podium in Moto 3. Fourth place in Moto 2 goes to Jeremy Perez, fifth place to Andrei Wisniewski, sixth place going to Patrice Pellier.
It's always hard, to win the World Championship. You never know till the last minute, but everything went well with the mechanic, Malte. My mechanic is one of the best mechanics in the world. He made the jet ski continue the whole season, and I'm very thankful for him and my sponsors, everyone. So thanks for the fourth championship. Very happy about it.
The Freestyle, where you get to see people do things with jet skis that you could barely imagine are possible. Always a crowd drawer, the Freestyle is an awesome display of skill, finesse, strength, and creativity. Multiple world champion Rok Floriancic was out with injury, but he would be there to cheer on his brother, Nas Floriancic, the man leading the field and the world standings going into the final round. Nas is on track for another world championship title in 2017, but it's not going to be easy for him. The man who has shunned this year is Rashid Al Mullah. The Emirati multiple Grand Prix winner has beaten Rok and Nas Floriancic on multiple occasions, showing he's one of the best riders in the world. A clean sweep for him last round in Dubai means he will be the Grand Prix favorite here in Sharjah in front of his home crowd. Also in the field is veteran Italian and multiple national and European champion Roberto Mariani, who's second in the world standings, 14 points behind Nas Floriancic going into the Grand Prix of Sharjah. Mariani is joined by fellow Italian Alberto Camerlengo, and also competing in Sharjah is Czech rider Jaroslav Turner. Alberto Camerlengo wowed the crowd with some perfectly executed backflips and some good solid combos, with nice landings on most of his tricks and good technique overall over the 3 motos. Jaroslav Turner impressed with his repertoire, the Czech ace scoring well in variety, ending his 3 routines with some good flourishing combos. Roberto Mariani is a veteran who always knows how to play to the crowds, as he produced an excellent quality and quantity of tricks, while also displaying his usual creativity with his signature moves, and the crowd loved it. All eyes were on the current world standings leader and former world champion Nas Floriancic, who went out with his characteristic early, no-holds-barred flurry of tricks with one move after another in a relentless combo that earned points for variety, quantity, extensions, and also creativity in all 3 motos. With his multiple and defending world champion brother Rok Floriancic watching on, Nas was in form and he racked up the big points. Another impressive display from the Slovenian ace, but would it be enough to beat local favorite and Dubai Grand Prix winner Rashid Al Mullah? The man the crowds were waiting for, Rashid Al Mullah. He had a clean sweep win in Dubai last round, and he went into his routines with a bang here in Sharjah. The UAE aerial trickster repeating his impressive performance in Dubai, maxing out the points in variety and quantity, and just managing to edge past Nas on all 3 motos. Al Mullah was in excellent form. What a performance, nearly flawless, and that earned the Emirati his 4th UIM ABP Grand Prix title with 75 points. Nas Floriancic finishes runner-up to Al Mullah yet again, with Roberto Mariani coming in 3rd on the podium with 48 points, ahead of Jaroslav Turner 4th and Alberto Camerlengo 5th.
Today I feel so happy because every round my trick different, and I do a lot of things, and I feel so happy about this.
But despite losing the last 2 rounds to Al Mullah, Nas Floriancic racked up enough points to close the season out as the new world champion. Roberto Mariani's consistency earns him the world runner-up position, while those 2 Grand Prix wins in the last 2 rounds earns Rashid Al Mullah the 3rd and final place on the year-end podium.
I'm really happy that I won the World Championship. It was a good season, I was a little bit lucky, but at the end I'm really happy to win the championship, yes.
The UIM ABP family was treated to a traditional Arabian feast in the desert, where riders, officials, crews and their families had a chance to unwind, relax and enjoy a splendid Arab feast as they were welcomed to Sharjah. The final runabout moto of the year, Yusuf Al Abdul Razak has already guaranteed his 4th world title, and he's also 13 points up on his nearest rivals for the Grand Prix of Sharjah title. There will also be a battle for a year-end runner-up spot between Ackerblom and Bushel.
Yeah, we had a problem yesterday with the engine, so I have to start last. But yeah, hopefully I can make a good position. Sometimes it's good fun coming from last.
Following the final parade lap where riders salute the crowds for the last time in 2017, the race was on, Al Abdul Razak leading the field to the whole shot. To the Kuwaiti's right, Andrei Wisniewski sips past Jeremy Perez as these skis hit speeds of 150 kilometers an hour on that long, fast starting straightaway. Out in the lead, the new world champion falls back as Lars Åkerblom surges ahead into the lead. Åkerblom leads the pack into the parallel course, followed by Wisniewski and Al Abdulrazak third, the Kuwaiti following the Swede in the blue track, Wisniewski in the green. Behind Wisniewski in the green track is Jeremy Perez in fourth position going into the alternate course. What a slalom run from Wisniewski. The big Polish rider passes Yusuf Al Abdulrazak and moves up into second place behind race leader Lars Åkerblom. The newly crowned world champion bumped back to third. So the new positions in the start lap. Åkerblom leads Wisniewski in second, then Abdulrazak in third, and in fourth, Jeremy Perez. There's a battle for fifth place behind Jeremy Perez as Italian veteran and former world number 3 Lorenzo Benaglia takes on Frenchman Patrice Pellier. Out in the lead, Åkerblom is in control, and with James Bushell trying to make his way up from the back of the field, the Swede looks on course for a year-end world runner-up finish. And in lap 2, James Bushell's race, Grand Prix and season come to an ignominious end as the British rider is towed off the circuit. A sad end to his season as he heads back in with head hanging low. In lap 4, the new world champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak is not backing off from this race, however, as he makes a challenge on Andrei Wisniewski to reclaim second position from the pole, the Kuwaiti riding like he's still racing for the world title, but Wisniewski hangs in there and fends off the Kuwaiti attack. On the same lap, Al Abdulrazak encounters trouble. He loses RPM as he tries to get started again, but Jeremy Perez is there to pounce. Jeremy Perez overtakes the Kuwaiti to move into third position. The intense dogfight for top spot continues out in the lead of the race as Lars Åkerblom continues to duck and evade the Polish onslaught as Wisniewski pours on the pressure for a first ever moto win. As the race nears the final few laps, Patrice Pellier and Johan Johansson find themselves out of the race by lap 8, both suffering engine trouble. With Patrice Pellier out of the race, Mattia Fracasso finds himself up in 5th position, and he's followed by Estonian Anton Pankratov, Jan Jensen of Denmark, and Portuguese rider Christophe Agostinho. On lap 10, Yusuf Al Abdulrazak finds the speed on the long straightaway at the top of the course to challenge Jeremy Perez, the Kuwaiti closing in on the Frenchman. Just as Al Abdulrazak passes him, Perez has a huge fall, and as he tries to get back into the race, Lorenzo Benaglia also passes the Frenchman, the Italian moving up into 4th position. Eventually, Perez manages to get back on course, but he's running out of time last lap. Åkerblom is still in the lead for the final lap of the race. Behind him, Wisniewski still giving chase to the Swede, and then it's Yusuf Al Abdulrazak. There it is, the end of Moto 3. Lars Åkerblom gets a well-deserved win, his first moto win since the last race of the 2014 season in Liujiao. Great result for Wisniewski, Moto 3 runner-up, and Al Abdulrazak ends up third. But the drama isn't over yet as Jeremy Perez makes a last gasp attack on the final straight to just pass Lorenzo Benaglia and claim 4th position in Moto 3. Benaglia gets a season-best result in 5th. His fellow Italian Mattia Fracasso ends the race 6th. Then Jan Jensen in 7th, and another Kuwaiti, Hamad Al Mudouyan, 8th.
We saved our best engine until the last race, Sharjah. Now we had enough power to take the best start possible, and then also the power to keep it and maintain the position.
The winner of the Grand Prix of Sharjah and the world title for 2017 is Yusuf Al Abdulrazak. Lars Åkerblom caps off an excellent Grand Prix as runner-up, and Andrei Wisniewski is on the podium in 3rd ahead of Jeremy Perez as Moto 3 results gain precedence in the event of a tie.
I love it. It's amazing. I have 4 world championships now, and that is a record for the Aquabike world championship in the Runabout GP1.
with an unprecedented fourth world title under his belt, the 2017 UIM ABP Aquabike Runabout GP1 champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak celebrates another fantastic season. Lars Åkerblom also has reason to celebrate a well-deserved career-best year-end runner-up finish for the Swede, finishing in the top 4 in all but one race this year. Third place goes to James Bushell despite his no-points finish in Moto 3. Jeremy Perez just misses out on the year-end podium in 4th. That concludes the Grand Prix of Sharjah and a sensational 2017 season for the UIM ABP Aquabike World Championship. It's been a feast on water and off, capped off with an extravagant and unique year-end celebration. See you in 2018.